welcome to this week's episode of Mondays with Melanie. I'm Melanie, founder of My Daily Designs and creator of Quicker Content Framework and Powerhouse Web Designer. Those are two really amazing courses for freelance web designers that helps them streamline their business systems, get their marketing foundations set up, raise their rates, work with better clients, and honestly, so much more. This week I want to talk to you about the number one thing that I recommend you outsource first as a freelance web designer. I'm going to do my best to convince you of why most things that you think you need to outsource first are actually not a good idea. But before we dive into that, I want to go over this week's happiness hack. These are little tricks that I create that help me be a better, happier human being and business owner and show up more of the way that I want to online and in real life. This week's happiness hack is actually just a story about how lazy I am with food. I would say people generally would describe me as someone who gets shit done. I make things happen. I can definitely have lots of energy towards things. That is how probably most people online perceive me. You would probably be surprised how lazy I am with eating food and preparing food. I don't want to put any energy into food. I just want it to appear and be there. This is why I love leftovers. I like making food at home, but that's a problem for people who don't like actually making food. So what I started doing, I would get up and I would just mindlessly put one or two things out on the counter. So maybe grab the bread, maybe grab a plate. Next time I'd go and grab the meat and the cheese. Then next I would do like the condiments. And then all of a sudden I had all of my sandwich supplies out and all I had to do was make the sandwich and eat it. And I'm willing to bet that there are things in your life that you know you need to do so that you can feel better or have a result that you're looking for or a thing that you want. You know it's important, you know it should be a priority, and you don't actually do things that make it happen. You're waiting for this like big burst of energy to actually get it done. And what I would argue is that you can start setting up little mindless things or small tasks that over time, once you kind of build up this habit and put the supplies there to make it happen together, you'll actually make it happen. So a lot of my students do this with their marketing and with their content creation. They know it's important to be visible. They know it's important to show up. They know it's important to be consistent, yet they don't set up systems or little things that help them get it done because they're just waiting on this big burst of energy. And I found that in business, most of the time, that's not how anything happens. Of course, you might have these moments of getting inspired and being able to just energetically create something and you like lose yourself for hours and then you wake up and it's done. That is how we like fantasize it in our head and how we think it's supposed to look like in real life, when most of the time getting stuff done actually just is really, really boring because it seems so simple. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of how you could apply this story to your own life. You're setting up your sandwich supplies. What's the thing that you know is important that you really, really want to get done? And you know if you did get it done, you'd feel so much better about yourself, so much more confident, so much more proud of yourself. It wouldn't be something that you're constantly putting on your to-do list for tomorrow. You're actually getting it done and you feel so much better and more excited and lighter because of it. So I want to know, what is your sandwich? And here's another thing. Notice that I'm not going and fixing a 5-course meal. I am fixing a sandwich. It's very, very simple. It's very straightforward. I'm not trying to build a ladder to the moon here. I just want to get this one really, really important thing done that I know will help move me forward in my day. And that's what I want you to think about too. Like, we're not trying to do the 5-course meal. We're just trying to build a sandwich here. So what's one simple thing that you can do, and how can you implement little things to help you get it done over time instead of just waiting for it to all of a sudden come together? Now, today we are talking about the number one thing that I recommend you outsource in your design business. This is kind of how most of us think about outsourcing. We think, I am not getting to my marketing, I'm not getting to my content creation, I'm so overwhelmed with my inbox, I wish I had a VA to help me with my social media scheduling or with writing emails sales or project manager. And then also we tell ourselves, whenever I get more clients, I'll be able to outsource, or whenever I get busier, I'll be able to afford having a VA. And so what we're doing is we're waiting for this really, really busy period and overwhelming period in our businesses, and we want to bring someone in that's going to require a lot of our attention and clear-headedness and organization, and we're gonna have to be able to like communicate and show up as like a functioning human being, because we're onboarding someone else into our processes and our way of doing things. And you're doing that in this very, very overwhelming time. You don't equate busyness, or you don't equate your business being busier and having a higher volume of clients. You're equating that with relaxation and ease, but in reality, it's just overwhelm. You barely have your head above water. This is when a lot of people come to me for Powerhouse Web Designer, because all of a sudden they're really, really busy and their lives feel chaotic. They have never felt more unorganized and less sure of themselves. And you do not have the brain space and this sense of ease when you have this influx and higher volume of clients and projects all of a sudden, even though I know that that's where most of you guys are thinking, great, that's when it starts to feel easier and I'm more relaxed in my business. No, this is the worst time to bring someone in, because that is not how you are. It's just balls to the wall like craziness. So what I recommend you do, instead of focusing first on getting a design assistant or a subcontractor to help you with your design projects, or a VA or a project manager where you're gonna kind of wait for things to get really crazy in your business and your life to bring them in, and then not be able to properly onboard them and educate them and set them up to be successful in your business, what I recommend you do is outsourcing your bookkeeping first. And there are lots of reasons why I think you need to do this. So first of all, instead of you having to onboard a bookkeeper, it's reversed. The weight of onboarding is put on them. They're the ones that are going to have the onboarding process, the established way of doing things, and a good bookkeeper is going to make this really, really seamless and easy for you, as easy as possible actually. And I definitely do have a recommendation. I'm going to talk to you about who I use for bookkeeping and why, and what my experience has been like. But first I need to still convince you as to why this is what you need to outsource first. So that's the first thing. You're not going to have to spend all of this time and energy onboarding this new team member. They're going to be the ones that are responsible for doing that with you, which is so amazing. If you do it right, they're going to make it really, really easy for you. The next reason why you should focus on bookkeeping is because this is something that is a complete section of your business that you're not going to have to think about anymore. What's hard with us as we're building and growing our businesses is that we start to feel stretched thin. We start to have decision fatigue. We have more things to stress about. We have more things that we're kind of juggling, and so we start to feel off balance. This allows you, outsourcing bookkeeping, this allows you to completely take one huge big monumental thing off of your plate, and then that ends up giving you more creativity and brain space and energy to grow your business and take care of your community and take care of your clients. So this is a huge thing. You get so much brain space and you get so much peace of mind. You're gonna get so much more of your time back. Now, I spent years in my business using QuickBooks. This is bookkeeping software that people use that was actually made for bookkeepers, not for entrepreneurs and busy business owners who don't really understand bookkeeping, whose brain hurts whenever they look at numbers. QuickBooks was not made for you, okay? It was made for professional bookkeepers. And I spent so many hours on Pinterest and YouTube and on blogs looking for solutions to help me understand how to create this bookkeeping workflow, how to integrate it with Dubsado. I spent actual money, hundreds of dollars, working with specialists to help me understand QuickBooks and get personalized attention. And it was all a waste of time, and I ended up wasting money too. And even though I was using professional bookkeeping software at tax time, I was still printing out bank statements, using my highlighter, creating a Google spreadsheet with all of my numbers so that I could actually make sense of what was happening in my business so that I could do my taxes. It was so stressful. And what was awful about this is it really affected my self-esteem as a business owner. And this might be the same thing for you too. You might really relate to this. I thought I suck at managing my finances. I don't really trust myself. If people knew, like I felt like I came off as very organized and composed online, and it felt like if people really knew what was going on behind the scenes, like nobody would listen to me. Everybody would think I was a joke. I felt like a joke as a business owner because your business finances are something that should be taken seriously, and I wasn't taking them seriously, and it affected my self-esteem. So as soon as I outsourced my bookkeeping and put it into the hands of a professional and had a whole team behind me helping me with my bookkeeping and helping me make like sense of my numbers so that I could make better decisions with my business, I shifted into this way more confident version of myself. I felt more legit. Having a bookkeeping team makes you feel fancy as shit. So if you're feeling lower than what you want to as far as like your confidence levels and how you feel about yourself as a business owner, just get a little bookkeeping team and you'll feel so freaking fancy. The thing is, you need to pick someone who's gonna make it really, really easy to get onboarded into their system. This is why I love Bench. Now, here's the thing too, I had mixed my business and my personal expenses. This is something that caused a lot of shame internally, and you know what? They have always been the sweetest ever. They're like, okay, we can take care of this because guess what? We're professional bookkeepers. It wasn't a big deal for them. It was the hugest deal for me. And for someone to be like, you're fine, like we want to help you. It meant a lot. And that is something else about Bench is they want to work with people just like us, where we're younger entrepreneurs, we're creatives. They get us. They've done research and data and studies. They have these really cool case studies and stuff on their website. Like they want to work with us and they get us and they're excited about what we're doing. One of my first phone calls with them, we had gotten on the phone and they said, oh, we checked out your website and your Instagram beforehand. What you're doing is really cool. So it's a really, really awesome level of service. And, you know, I recommend you signing up for a trial with them just so you can go through the customer experience. You'll get lots of ideas for how you could elevate your client experience. Yeah, they're awesome. One final thing that I love about Bench is that they have tiered pricing. So they just take a look at whatever expenses you're bringing in, and most of us are going to be on the lower tier. And then that's how they price you each month is just what are your expenses? We're going to be a percentage of that. And then the more expenses you have in your business, the higher the subscription is. And once you use them and are able to have a better sense of your numbers and your finances, you're going to be able to make better decisions. You're actually going to be able to calmly bring in additional help sooner in your business because you've gotten control of your finances and you understand your numbers and you're taking your business that much more seriously. And you've even got people in your back pocket who can help you know if you're ready and what to do to get ready for it. So this is actually the exciting thing. I told you all of that because me and Bench, we are teaming up for a workshop this week. We're going to be talking about how to make better decisions in your business. I'm so excited. This is the biggest company that I've partnered up with to bring you expert advice and trainings. And we're doing that on Thursday this week, January 23rd at 1 p.m. Central. So I'm teaming up with my buddy Rachel from Bench. I believe she's going to have someone else there too helping her. So you're going to be able to get FaceTime with these people, hear their expert advice, and then ask them questions. Some of the things I know we're going to be talking about are the top 5 numbers that you need to know in your business so that you can make better decisions. They're going to go over 2 tips to make your life way, way easier. They want to give you some ideas of not so obvious things that you can deduct come tax time. So this is going to help you make better investments immediately. And they're going to go over some common problems that they see business owners having with their bookkeeping. And of course, we're going to have a Q&A at the end. So you can go to mybillydesigns.com/decisions. Decisions has an S at the end, and you'll be able to sign up, and I'll send you a reminder before we go live. You can pre-submit your questions, and that is especially good to do if you're not going to be able to make it live. So you can go ahead and sign up, submit your questions, we'll answer it. I'll send you a link to the replay, and if you're watching this video after January 23rd, then go ahead and still go to mybillydesigns.com/decisions because we're going to leave this training up indefinitely, and then then you can see their training and all the other questions that people asked. But yeah, we're gonna leave this training up. So even if you're watching this way after January 2020, you can still access the training by going to mybellydesigns.com/decisions. Okay, that's it for this week's episode. I'll see you next week, guys.